Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time in joining me in this global payment development track. My name is Eagle Yi, former head of WeChat Pay, North America. I spent the past 10 years in Tencent America for international business development and ecosystem, strategic alliance, and account management. So recently, I'm also advisor to some senior management team of public listed companies, such as Professional Diversity Network or private companies as well. My career life starts from Federal Express Internet Solution Group, then Intel, a startup company called Teligent, and Tencent on various roles of partnership, account management, business development, and also general management. So I want to spend a couple minutes talking about the trend of the global payment industry, analyze the impact of coronavirus situation impact to the whole world, and go deeper dive into the digital wallet, cross-border, and the crypto market, and also contactless payment, then draw the conclusion later on. In general, when we are looking at the trend of the past few years, especially last year, and we concluded that the global e-commerce growth continue to be actually staggering. Yeah, it posted almost $4.6 trillion in transactions. That's a year-over-year growth, almost 20% versus last year. And overall, last year's total transaction volumes still shrink approximately 4.4% versus last year, 2019, because of coronavirus impact to the whole world, and especially to the point of sales commerce as well. Especially for the online e-commerce site, digital wallet accounting for almost half transaction volume in year 2020. That's approximately 6.5% growth versus a year ago in 2019. On point of sale side, offline, the cash transaction volume fell to only like 20% of overall all the transaction values. This had set a reduction record of approximately 32% versus a year ago. And mobile wallet represents almost a quarter of all the year 2020's point of sales. Also, this set a record of nearly 20% growth year over year. The contactless payment booming globally under the shadow of coronavirus, where QR code pay entered into more and more merchant attention and awareness due to consumer size base that they have, simplicity, safety, and less complexity to integrate into existing systems. On the worldwide side, online e-commerce digital mobile wallet growth to take 44% as of now, and expect to be more than half in just 3 years. For point of sale scenario, it's already grows to be the #1 market share, and that's over a quarter. It might be slightly different in North America. In the States, digital and mobile wallet adoption lag global average, but digital wallets still rise into top 2 and merely matching credit for online situation. For point of sales, top 3 are still credit card, debit card, or cash, but digital wallet is at the gate with the fast growth. It's coming very, very soon. When we have a look at the Asian Pacific area, APAC leading the digital wallet usage scenario and the market share as well, with over 60%, even in point of sales scenarios as well. And they are more aggressive in adopting new technology, with many regions skip card business directly, jumping from cash business to mobile or digital wallet. So they might possibly set a trend for future, and probably is what the whole world transaction market would be in the next decade. An important trend in Asian Pacific area is that most of the digital wallet transactions are actually based on QR code. European stands out of paper in last year as well for accepting digital wallet online in e-commerce, and slightly lagging in accepting digital wallet in point of sales, but still leading the adoption rate globally as top 3. So year 2020 marked the turning point for digital and mobile usage scenario to be the most popular way to check out online for e-commerce. As offline or point of sales, we see Americans are turning to card and mobile wallets as more and more business implementations and welcome the contactless payment. On the Asian Pacific area, China continues to see the adoption with digital and mobile wallet grow as well, even they already have a huge market share. And this growth trend is across globally right now. So for the last year, 2020, the point of sale, the scenario in general, and the cash was used for only 20% of global point of sale volume. This marks the over 30% reduction year over year. The impact of COVID-19 cross-virus crisis will likely lead to a further decline in case usage in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to spend a little bit more time about the global payment development into the digital e-commerce and show you how fragmented they are. So when we are in the web 2.0, 3.0, is primarily the branding always go to the website. And when it moves to the mobile side, we see, they are kind of like a scattered or fragmented in different vehicles. So we will see them in like a marketplace, social, IoT, voice, VR, messaging, live streaming, and all the things. From what used to be a single point of purchase from a brand to an infinite amount of channels. This definitely increased the challenge of offering a unified payment experience for omni-channels. It also adds on complexity for both consumers and brands in terms of managing transactions from a variety of disparate sources as well. We are actually facing more and more and various platform and ecosystem globally. So using Ali application or WeChat application as a super app to illustrate why this happens. It happens in different regions that both of those super applications has more than 800 million active accounts with Asian Pacific focus, but they are expanding vigorously globally. So both super apps of Alipay or WeChat Pay app, so the integrated services within your wallet, not just the payment method. They covering from food delivery, food ordering, e-commerce shopping, taxi hauling, hotel booking, train ticket booking, and even investment. So it's kind of like a conglomerate of all the life services that into one single app, which we usually see quite scattered in different standalone applications in the Western world. So they are kind of like a wallet for everything, including third-party credit union, like stores, And naturally, they're designed for social payment, of course. So what happened in the last year means a milestone for the global payment. And the nice to have instantly become a must to have. When changing the way that we pay changes everything we have. The coronavirus crisis is having a significant and a widespread effect on global payment across all the sectors. The most striking and potentially lasting impact is an accelerating pace of change in the industry. The pandemic changed that the equation overnight. Nice to have instantly became must-haves. Adaptability became the core competency. Embracing digital transformation became a matter of survival. Using what happened 18 years ago in China as illustration, how a pandemic can change the country's economy and retails, then commerce and payment as well. So SARS happens almost 2 decades ago. They hit China's retail sales. In this curve, we can see that it usually maintains above 80% of year-over-year growth in the history, but suddenly have a drop, still growing, but dropped to approximately 4.3% in May of 2003. That's the beginning of SARS in China. And that marks the slowest pace on their own record in the past 40 years. Until now, in China, the economy grows, but it is an abrupt spike and quickly turned back to normal trend with SARS disappeared without a clear reason or course in that year. Unfortunately, 18 years later now, we will see a quite different landscape as the coronavirus has lingered worldwide for over like 18 months. And there's no sign for them to simmer or disappear. With recently new variants start and the general public worries or anxiety for the incoming boosters and many other uncertain factors as well, the world economy is back on track gradually. We still see the trend of growth, but it's still under the uncertainty. So that reflects the long-term growth and the short-term might fluctuate. So the QR codes becoming more popular in last year because the huge user base from Asian Pacific, of course, and it's accelerated under pandemic government promotion of contactless payment worldwide. They do have some advantages. For example, they have a significant cost advantage and a wider spread of adoption, as I mentioned, due to the huge user base. And not all the devices have NFC tag, as we know. So this limited the mobile payment in the advanced countries that has a very high adoption of NFC payment. But all smartphones has camera. So naturally, they can all accept the QR code pay. The QR code pay can also be easily accepted by all the cameras in all the modern shops, for example, the optical scanners. So naturally, the infrastructure is built already. And NFC devices compatibility is always the issue across the industry for decades, but that's not the case for QR code pay. They do have some disadvantages as well. So QR code pay needs a stable internet connections, especially on the merchant side. Not necessarily as fast as NFC is also a big shortcoming for them. But overall, we still see the growth trend of QR code pay worldwide. And digital wallet remains the payment method of choice among global e-commerce consumers. So they already accounted for 45% of e-commerce transaction volumes in last year. Even in the States, digital wallet grew to represent almost 30% of e-commerce transactions online. And Asian Pacific, obviously, this adoption rate is actually much higher. Yeah. Giving WeChat Pay as one example, on WeChat Pay wallet, it records over 1 billion times of account transactions every day in last year. So overall, projection expected digital wallet to account for more than 50% of e-commerce volumes in the next 3 years. Yeah, and credit card might have a slightly declines, maybe down to 20%. Yeah. So worldwide, we see the trend is the bank account moves to card account. This happened in almost like a half a century, and now moves to mobile wallet account. It happens only in like 10 years, like several years. and digital wallet takes up. And we see the next step, they will combine with the cryptocurrency, and naturally privacy, financing, and investment will be the next concerns for those digital wallets. And we see the digital wallet market growing even in the States as well. Square Cash, Venmo, and PayPal's growth numbers already reflect that. There's huge opportunities there already, and there are also challenges. Yeah, for example, they need to be support multiple wallets, and the merchants need to face different regulatory requirements, compliance, and risk management. They have to invest valuable resources to do the integration. So whoever go first to overcome those issues will be the market leader during this transaction. Let's spend a little more time on the cross-border e-commerce side as well. It stands for almost $780 billion in year 2019, and expected to almost growing 4 times until year 2026. In the next 5 years, expected to grow like 27% year to year. And mobile wallet naturally is a marketing vehicles, while the young generation accepts them with less friction and tendency. And they meet the safety requirement of contactless use under the anxiety of pandemic and also government requirements. And mobile wallet or digital wallet can also naturally integrate the coupons and loyalty program as well. The social commerce made it easy on the mobile wallet too. So last, I want to spend a little bit of time on the challenge for the cross-border e-commerce. Yeah, and first of all, business can no longer indiscriminately remove consumer data overseas across borders. This will result in a huge shift in use of technology. Yeah, and the stricter regulations on the trading of personal data side will reduce the power of digital monopolies, such as Amazon, Alibaba, or etc. We see a booming for crypto market in the last year. This is due to a lot of factors, including regulatory maturity, awareness in public, and the trading infrastructure development as well. It entered into PayPal, and some of the leading exchanges go public. The overall market cap grows triple, yeah, year over year in year 2020, last year. We also see some of the big movement as well from Asian Pacific, such as China. China launched the digital currency electronic payment, or DCEP, for its central bank digital currency. And they also banned the cryptocurrency from banks' payment system. And later on, they also banned crypto mining. Yeah, but overall speaking, mining is not a world trend. Interested to know more, or acceptance is. So with all of them, and we look at the future trend, we want to conclude that the coronavirus will speed up the digital transformation, like SARS did to China back to 18 years ago. Yeah. And this is a great chance for the whole industry to take over and accelerate the growth. The digital and mobile wallet leads to the future trend on payment and royalty marketing vehicles. Yeah. Emerging new social commerce platform will drive for faster adoption of digital wallet on e-commerce, such as like live streaming and short form video platform as well. We see this is the dawn for cryptocurrency to enter mainstreaming in this year and the next few years. The infrastructure are being built up, privacy and efficiency would become more and more important for all the people. So thank you for joining me in this track, and I really appreciate all your time spent with me in this morning. I want to particularly thank for the MPC 21 team to invite me and put up this event all together. So thank you very much. Next time, actually next track, I will be the moderator for under the same topic. So please join me for the following panel discussion. Thank you very much.